Oh man, oh man. This has just been just one problem after another. Seriously, Francis Ford Coppola cannot catch a break with this movie. First, Variety tries to frame him into thinking that it was some sort of misconduct that he was doing on the set, which has been proven not to be true. But now these trailers have been coming out online, and oh my, they've somehow managed to dig themselves such a stupid grave. And I mean, granted, it's not like the movie is over, but like a lot of people now know just how stupid of an idea that this was. Let's go back 2 days. So Wednesday, Lionsgate decided to release the new trailer for Megalopolis, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But they did something pretty bad. So they had little fake reviews for his old movies, talking about like how bad The Godfather is and Apocalypse Now and everything. Well, guess what? All of those, they were fake. They were not actually for the movie. Some of them were just completely made up. There was one review for that was supposed to be for Dracula. That was actually from a review for the Batman movie, the Tim Burton's 1989 Batman movie. It is genuinely impressive just how bad they messed it up. And I can't help but wonder, who would have thought that this would have been a good idea? Who would have thought it would have been a good idea to make up fake quotes for these movie reviews, for real people, by the way, and they just basically lied about everything? Well, guess what? We have the answer. So the main guy that Variety, because Variety wrote an article about it, but the main guy that they're talking about is Eddie Egan. He's basically I don't know if he's the scapegoat or what's going on, but he's the name that's going around. He's been working with Lionsgate with this advertising for 20 years now. He is not like some new intern. Like, he's a legitimate seasoned veteran. And he decided that he wanted to do this idea, or at the very least someone. I think it was him, though. He wanted to do this idea where they had all these negative reviews about these movies and everything about like how bad of these films are, how bad The Godfather is, and Apocalypse Now, and all these films. But he didn't do it himself. He used AI to gather up all these reviews of these negative reviews of these films, and he just used that. And I mean, maybe I could understand it. I could understand it if he looked it up and then he did some research to make sure that these are correct and that the AI wasn't just making things up. Nope, didn't do any of that. He just saw that AI gave it to him and he's like, okay, let's call it good. Let's pack up. Let's go home. Hey, we got the job done. Because he had just decided that it was a good idea to use those quotes that AI used and then put it into the trailer. And guess what? He's fired now, to the surprise of no one. I really thought that this was all on purpose. I really thought that the whole thing that Lionsgate was doing these fake quotes for these reviews, and it was going to get a lot of pushback, and people are going to call out the movie, and then there was going to be a lot of articles coming out about how all these things are going on, and you know what? You know what that's called? Free advertising. That's all it is. It's free advertising. All these companies were advertising this movie for them, and I really thought that this was all on purpose. I thought that somebody was getting a raise, not fired. But nope, this guy thought that it was the right idea to go into AI, find all these random quotes for these reviews, and think that it was 100% accurate and just post it on the trailer. And boy, was he wrong. I mean, look, this isn't all horrible. I mean, still at the end of the day, this is still a lot of free advertising that Lionsgate got. However, with the news about Eddie Egan getting fired, probably not the best advertising, but still, people are talking about this movie, and the film's coming out in 4 weeks. Like, people aren't realizing, within a month's time, we're all going to be going out to the theaters to watch this film. And so, this is legitimately happening, like, very soon. And I feel like they're kind of a little slow on the advertisement. I get that they were only just now finally getting around to getting a distributor and stuff, but they need to start advertising it fast. past. And I mean, honestly, this wasn't the worst thing to happen. There could have been far, far worse things that could have ended up happening with all this advertising and just anything going on with the film. So really, this isn't the worst thing in the world. However, it is an example of just how stupid people can really be. Because I really don't know what was running between his little brain of his to think that this was a good idea. Because in no world was it ever a good idea to use AI, which, by the way, still very new. We are still struggling with making hands with AI. I mean, these images are getting good, but even just writing out stories. The AI still is not on that level where it can really perfectly create these great stories. The idea that he could just use AI and not even fact check anything, just base it off on the idea that AI is going to be 100% right, because of course it is. I mean, of course they're going to most definitely get the right reviews for the right movies, but no, he didn't do anything. And I've talked about AI a lot. AI is good as a tool. You can use AI as a tool to get what you want. You don't use it to do what you want. And this is an example of using AI to do your job. You don't use AI to do your job. You use AI to help your job. You make it all easier. You don't use it to just do everything for you and think that it's all going to end up perfectly. And we are in this weird stage between development of AI, and so it's kind of hard to really know how well the technology is really working. And so I guess I can understand that, but there's no way he didn't keep this a secret. Like, there had to been somebody to know that he was using AI and that he either lied about fact checking it or just nobody thought to question if this is all actually real. And I really don't feel bad at all, because this was such a stupid mistake to make. And I feel like, especially for someone who's been working in this industry with advertising and Lionsgate for so long, that he wouldn't have made a mistake like that. And I guess it's just a little warning sign for people to slowly start to realize that you can't use AI to do your job. This is an example of AI doing your job. And guess what? You ended up getting fired. You ended up making one of the dumbest mistakes in all of Hollywood in the past few years. Like, this isn't on the level of when Warner Brothers decided to put all their movies on streaming and theaters the same day. But man, it kind of feels like it's close to that level. And especially in an age where AI is not very welcoming in the film community. I don't know if you've heard, but people are trying to boycott something like Late Night with the Devil for using a couple of images that were AI generated. Which, by the way, I want to just fact check everyone on this. They had a graphic designer go over and edit the images. I just want to point that out. They had proven that there was a legitimate graphic designer that helped fix a lot of the problems. There obviously were some mistakes. Again, hands. AI can't do hands, so some of like the skeleton hands were really messed up. But outside of that, there was still a actual graphic designer that did the job. And so I just want to clear that up, because that's the thing that really made me annoyed. But with example like this, I can't defend it, nor do I want to defend it. This was just him not thinking about the consequences of the possibility of using AI in an industry that does not want AI. But I mean, what do you think of the situation? I mean, do you agree with me, disagree with me? I mean, I'd love to hear all your thoughts. And I mean, if you enjoyed this little news update, like and subscribe, share. I do a lot of different movie type of content, and that's really it. That's really all I have to say. I mean, it's such an insane thing to think that this guy thought that nothing wrong was going to happen with this thing. And I mean, it's not a massive deal. The movie's still going to continue on. Nobody's going to try to boycott it. At the end of the day, we're probably all going to forget about this by the time the film actually comes out. But I just think it's kind of a funny story to just talk about, especially because like this is really going to start to become a bigger and bigger issue. But like I said, that's really all I have to say. So I mean, until next time, it's movie talk. See ya.